Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, so I'm gonna go see a friend who's going to help me connect with somebody who knows a little bit about art. I think it's an art professor at ASU, and so I'm gonna see if there's somewhere I can network with to get my art off the launch pad, if you will. And also, I want to once again thank the God of Likes that on my way to my friend's home, I didn't see a police car on the road. You know, I just got a angry comment saying that just because you can't drive safely doesn't mean the rest of the world has to give up their cars, something to that effect. And I want to say that I have been pretty safe. Despite all the near misses, all the road rage, I have gone 9 years without an accident that was my fault. I mean, I've been rear ended a few times. Actually, part of the reason I get rear ended is because I don't like to go over the speed limit. So on the I-10 here, our speed limit is either 60 or 70. Outside the city, it's 70. Inside, it's 60. I always follow that. Actually, one of the times I got rear-ended was when I was slowing down from the 70 to the 60 when I got into Phoenix. Um, but I don't like to run red lights. There's one place where I get into a lot of commotion. When you get off the freeway to the exit to go to Midtown Phoenix, you get out and there's a red light and you turn right. It's a no turn on red, but everybody seems to ignore the no turn on red. I really hate being the first car in the line there when it's red because people will honk at me and assume that I should run that light. I can't tell you how many times that has happened. And so I don't like to break traffic rules. I don't like to drive unsafely. The issue is that anybody can make a mistake. Usually for me, it's something really silly. I live alone, and a lot of times I don't know if the lights of my car are out or something like that. One time, I probably shouldn't be arguing with the officer at the side of the road, but one time I'd gotten pulled over for something like that. And you know what? I run into a lot of barriers for living alone. The lights being out and not knowing it is only the tip of the iceberg. So I was very upset about that. And I told the officer, you know what? At the time, I think I was 36 years old. I'm 36 and I've never had a relationship in my life. How am I supposed to know the lights are? I said something to that effect. And I think the officer was not exactly amused by it. I shouldn't have done that. But being pulled over for the lights being out was only the tail end of a long series of frustrations I had that year with being alone, right? I had one income to work with. I had all sorts of other drama, right? I had nobody to bring to. I had a favorite school carnival, and oftentimes a lot of the rides need somebody to ride with. I couldn't ride them, stuff like that, and anybody can make a mistake, and it's like constantly. It's like every day I wake up, I have to retake the SAT or the GRE exam all over again. It kind of feels like that, right? I didn't have to experience that when I was in Taiwan, when I was in Poland. Uh, and You know what's really frustrating is dealing with somebody who, for some privileged reason, doesn't have the same problems as I do, and listening to their rationale of it. I don't know if the subscriber I was talking to drives a car, but a lot of my students don't drive. They rely on their parents to drive them everywhere. Yeah, I know, right? And so that's this generation in a nutshell. And so I have very good rapport with a lot of my students when I bring this up, and they get really privileged responses. I hate to even say them here because my students might be watching. I had one student who laughed at me for last year when I was offering rewards for my matchmakers. My student laughed at one of my students really laughed mercilessly at me. The others at least understood it after I got the good results in. Right before it, yeah, they laughed at me, but after I had finished the whole program and I got good results out of it. But this one student continues to laugh at me to this day. Lately, he's just been completely ghosting me, even when we see each other in the hallways, probably because he regrets laughing at me. But he said, why would I do that? Yeah, he for starters, he still lives with his parents. He doesn't have to deal with if he were to get COVID during a heat wave, he wouldn't be all alone. His parents would probably go out and buy toilet paper or food or water, and he could just sit at home and relax with long COVID. The school would probably, if I were teaching him, I'd probably be very accommodating of that, especially after going through what I had already gone through 2 years ago, right? And to top that off, he met the love of his life just by chance when they were in fourth grade, and he doesn't have to think about that either. And so that's like laughing at somebody spending money for chemotherapy when you're the one fortunate enough to never even get a cold, right? He treated the whole situation like it was that. I worked at a tutoring center 2 years ago, and I was grappling with maybe I should have kept it to myself, but I was very upset that my schedule had changed last minute because I was grappling with binge eating problems. I had planned a 24-hour fast. I was just about to go home to break that fast when my boss decided that he needed to schedule me for yet another student later that day. And not only did he schedule me for that, but the schedule was very wonky. It had gaps in there. It was not a big enough gap that I could go out to get food, but it had a gap in there, and so it's just a big waste of my time. And the student overheard me arguing with my boss about my eating disorder and all that. And this kid who's 13, 14 years old and seems like he can eat whatever he wants without any consequences. He starts talking very privileged with me as well. And so it just goes to show that I have a long way to go before I get to any of those levels of privilege. And I hope that meeting this art professor will be my ticket to that. And hopefully, when I get there, I won't forget where I came from either, because I don't want to be like one of these idiots. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.